In the heart of the kingdom of Liora, nestled high within the silver-topped towers of Eldenfort Castle, lived Princess Elara, girl with curious eyes and a heart full of wonder. Unlike other royals who adored glittering gowns or grand banquets, Elara found her joy in the quiet corners of the castle's library, where old books whispered secrets only she seemed to understand. She was known throughout the land as the dreaming princess. Every night, her dreams painted vivid worlds, soft flying ships that sailed the stars, of talking forests, of forgotten kingdoms beneath the ocean. She would wake each morning with her head full of adventures, only to find them vanish like mist by midday. "Why can't I remember them forever?" she often whispered to herself. One stormy evening, thunder rattled the stained glass windows of the library. Bored of reading the same volume she'd already devoured, Elara paced restlessly. That's when she noticed something odd, a breeze where there should be none, brushing against her cheek. She turned and saw a flickering candle illuminating a wall she had passed 1,000 times. But tonight, something was different. The bookshelf was slightly ajar. Heart pounding, Elara stepped forward and pushed. The shelf creaked, revealing a narrow, spiraling staircase lit by glowing runes etched into the stone walls. Without hesitation, curiosity pulling her like a spell, she descended. Down and down she went, until she reached a heavy wooden door carved with strange symbols. At her touch, it creaked open into a vast chamber filled with towering bookshelves. They stretched so high into the darkness that even the chandelier of floating fireflies above couldn't touch their tops. But the strangest thing of all was the books. They glowed faintly, pulsing with a light that felt alive. Elara reached for one. As her fingers brushed its spine, the book flew open on its own, pages flipping wildly until it stopped at one glowing sentence. In her dream, the stars whispered her name, guiding her to a ship that sailed the skies. Her breath caught. That was her dream from 2 nights ago. She opened another book. It read, "In a jungle of mirrors, she faced her reflection made of shadow and found the light inside her." Another dream, forgotten until this very moment. Page after page, book after book, each one held a forgotten dream, perfectly written in golden ink, and at the bottom of each page was her name, written by Elara of Liora. The princess sank to her knees, overwhelmed with joy. This was her secret library, a place where dreams lived forever. From that day on, Elara visited the hidden library each night after the castle slept. She began to dream even more vividly, knowing her adventures would be waiting for her by morning. The books began to whisper ideas to her, guiding her, inspiring her, even warning her. One night, a new dream came. In it, the library was burning. The glowing books curled into ash as a shadowy figure cloaked in fire marched through the shelves. Elara ran in her dream, screaming for help, but the fire consumed everything. She woke up gasping. When she rushed to the secret library that night, everything seemed normal, except for one thing. A new book sat on the pedestal in the center of the room where no book had ever been before. It was black with a silver clasp. She hesitated, then opened it. A shadow comes, one who feeds on forgotten stories and lives in the cracks between memory and dream. Only she who writes her fate can stop him. Elara's hands trembled. The book flipped on its own, revealing the shadowy figure from her dream, drawn in ink that moved like smoke. Underneath, a new sentence formed. "He is already awake." Suddenly, the floating fireflies dimmed. A chill ran down her spine. From the far end of the library, a figure stepped into the light. His body was smoke and shadow, his eyes 2 flickering embers. "I smell your dreams," he hissed, "so full of light, so full of life." Elara backed away. "You can't be real, you're from a dream." He smiled darkly. And what is a dream but a doorway? The books around her began to glow, pages fluttering madly. Then came the voices. "We are your words, Elara. Use us." With a surge of courage, Elara grabbed one glowing book after another, throwing them into the air. As they opened, golden letters lifted into the air like fireflies, surrounding her in a whirlwind of glowing light. "I am not afraid of you," she said, her voice rising. The shadow hissed, shrinking from the light. "I am the author of my story, and you," she said, opening the black book again. "You are only a footnote." With that, she thrust her hand into the swirling light and shouted, "Write the ending!" A burst of golden magic exploded from the circle of books, slamming into the shadow. He screamed as his form unraveled like smoke in the wind. In seconds, he was gone. Silence fell. The books slowly returned to their shelves, now calm. The black book closed itself and disappeared in a flicker of light. Elara stood in the stillness, heart racing. From that night forward, the library was not just a keeper of dreams, but a guardian of them. And Elara, its chosen author. Years passed, and Princess Elara became queen. Her reign was remembered as the Age of Stories, a time when creativity, dreams, and magic thrived across the kingdom. The library remained her secret, though sometimes, when a child dreamt with great imagination, a glowing book would appear at their bedside with golden letters and the words, "Written by Elara of Liora." And so, the secret library lived on, one dream at a time, forever guarded by the girl who dared to write her own fate. The end.